Okay, here we go. There you go. It's on now.
So, Turbo, since we're here, I thought we might as well make the most of our time together and bring up some hot and juicy news that's come across the old Royals desk.
Oh, do
Oh,
tell.
yeah. And what would this be?
Now, I don't know whether look, I've been fed some information recently,
Yes.
and I don't know how factually correct this information is, but it is very juicy, and I've decided to put you in the hot seat and just see how you react.
Righto.
So, Turbo, can you confirm or deny currently the Old Boys are in talks with the Dragons for a merger?
Does he have to answer fact or crap?
Yes, he does. Fact or crap?
Fact.
It is a fact.
Yeah.
So why would you want to merge with the Dragons after only having recently created the Old Boys? What has it been, 2 seasons?
Yeah.
2 seasons and you want to merge with another club. What's the go? What's the thought process there?
Pretty easy. Why do you reckon, we can go back one step. Why do you think I went to all the effort of putting an expansion bid in, all that work? Why do you reckon, what motivated me to do that?
Mate, this is your show and you're answering the questions, so you tell me.
Well, the answer's the same for both, like doing a merger. So in putting expansion bid, I was told, seen lots of people try and do it unsuccessfully. An opportunity to bring a team into the side, a new team, is something that not everybody in the SFA. So people get different things. They want to be admin, they want to do this and that to get their stamp in it. Well, I like to, play in this space of fantasy. So that was, and I was told I wouldn't get an expansion team across. I wouldn't get it with Hado. I wouldn't get it if it had anything to do with snakes and lizards and all that, which we end up being Ophidian. So that was the challenge, was to get that done. That was my motivation and drive. Now, I've done that successfully. 2 seasons in, I'm thinking, what's the next challenge? And mergers is being talked about. And how often do you get to merge? Teams don't want to merge because straight away you try and merge with another team, they see that they're going to lose something out of it. So I can see why they don't want to do it. So for me, if I can merge the Old Boys and the Dragons, who I see as symbiotically very similar in the sense that we're both reptilian, dragons, lizards, so there's a connection there. I don't have a problem with their colour schemes to ours to merge. Their players are very similar to us. They're very fantasy-based, which is what we're after, because that's sort of our stick, is to invent that. So it's a natural thing. So for me, it's like, if we can do a merger, then now I've started a new team, tick. Now I've merged 2 teams, tick. Getting ticks for things that not everyone can do, and I dare say for the next 4 or 5 seasons, no one ever will do. So that's just how I kept myself enjoyed. And you think about, put the Dragons and us together, how good would that be?
So what are the Dragons open to this?
The issue we have is they're open to it because they can see the advantage, because they take our list, and they were very entertaining. The issue is it still comes down to they've got a long history and we don't have any history. So it really does come down to what you give up. So we don't want to just become the Dragons. So, all right, all the Old Boys will just close up Spotswood and go to the Dragons, and the Dragons obviously don't accept that because they just pick up. And also, it's not about all our players going anyway. We've got a number that will move out to other clubs. So this is where this is why we can sell it to the SFA going public, is the 2 teams combined have too many players. So we will be looking at distributing players out. And I've already got a couple of players who would go back to old teams or teams where players that they used to play with are. So,
and is this all just an attempt to keep the 3 bad boys, Old Boys, chained to your hip, Turbo?
I don't know. It's that certainly got things that certainly stimulated thought processes. But at the end of the day, they'll stay with this merger. Yeah, absolutely, because they like the Dragons. I would say those 3 would go to the Dragons. That would be the team that would take them, obviously, because 2 of them.
Well, that was my news, and that was my mail. That's where they'd be going. So yeah, I just wondered if this whole thing was just a desperate attempt from your end to keep those guys tied to the old boys.
No.
Maybe out of some concern about the direction that the club's going if those three had a left.
No, look, those three could leave and it would make no difference to the club. You know that. You've been clubs lose, their top six posters and they still, as long as you've got someone in good leadership, the club will always go well.
So do you have any concerns that reducing the amount of teams in the league now is going to force players off lists and out of the league?
No, not at all.
That really should be playing?
You know better than that. That's not going to be the case. The issue at the moment is we've got 13 teams and we haven't got 13 teams with 20 active players. They don't. There's every team. I've been looking around and you've always got 5 or 6 players on most team lists that don't even post. So what this would do is it brings us back to the even amount of rounds. So we get rid of the bye, which is, I actually like the bye. I know we like the bye, but it gets rid of the bye, which so many people say they want to get rid of. But it also means our combined team, the Dragons and the Ophidian Old Boys, and we've got a few names going, but I won't necessarily drop those now.
The Dragon Balls?
Actually, that's not bad. I haven't got that one.
I like that.
But the whole point is we would pick, as I said, talk to our players, and there's a number of players that would be happy to go out back to other clubs. And so the advantage to the other clubs is if we were going to put this towards the committee that this is what we propose, we'd actually put our list up. So here's our list of 27 players. What have we got now? 30 players are allowed? What's the max now?
30.
Righto. We'd put our list of 30 out, which would mean we'd then have about, say, 10 players, 12 players that are outside of that. Now, out of that 12, we've already got 5 or 6 that don't post. So they'll basically just drop off. They won't be in the SFA because they're not engaging. The other 6 will then go back to clubs that they want to go to. They're not going to be the Bonzers and myself and the high-end posters, but they'll be the posters who come on every now and then and maybe post 5 times a week or something. Just so that. But they'll all be list pickups for other people and maybe remotivated as well. Who knows? But the biggest issue is the Dragons have a long history, and and this is what the challenge for me is with them, is how do we negotiate them not losing that, but we as the Ophidian Old Boys still retain part of the old boy culture that we want to bring into the comp, which is what we're doing. So it's not necessarily at this point, it's not a guaranteed, but it's certainly tempting, I would say.
So when do you guys plan on bringing this to the league? And
as soon as possible.
Is this something that you're planning on having finalised for the beginning of season 36, or would it be a season 37 or onwards?
I'm thinking it'll probably. I would like to get it done sooner than later because that's the way I do it, but I realistically don't know. Well, we could make it happen, but that would be almost. We'd be absorbing. The Dragons would be absorbing us. It would be how it would really work quickly, and I don't see that. I actually want to merge 2 clubs together and morph a club. So it's almost like what I got the excitement in doing the Old Boys. So it's not giving that idea. It's about how do we make our 2 groups come together stronger? Like, can we maintain both sites, like both club places, but one's our home ground and the other's our training ground? It's about expanding that. Like, I'm always about expanding the SFA environment. So in my head,
this doesn't seem like an expansion, though. This is a contraction.
No, but we still maintain the idea of combining 2 clubs is you don't get rid of one and just it comes with Dragons and they pick up our players. The idea is we create a merged club. So that's the trick to it. And in doing that, we can keep Spotswood open and the college open.
Yes, but you're dropping 30 list spots available within the league, so therefore players are going to disappear.
No. The players that will disappear off our list are the players that aren't posting. The cloggers, list cloggers.
You got to have room for Al Batty 29, mate.
Yeah, but we're going to get. You got to get to. I can guarantee. All right, put it this way. Say I closed down Spotswood and we weren't merging. I just said, right, we're closing down the Old Boys. It's over. The dream is finished, and our list just went out to the other clubs. So the competition goes back to 12, and all of our players go back to other clubs. It would make no difference.
And where do you think this leaves any potential expansion such as the Little Fishies?
Well, then that's the other conversation that's got to be had. If we introduce the fact that we're looking at maybe merging, if there's somebody that's actually going, hang on, we're actually serious, well, I would hang off. I'd go, okay, what do we got? And if there's going to be a 14th team, well, then I wouldn't shut down what we're doing. Why would you?
There's definitely been a lot of chat and things in the works in the last couple of seasons for sure.
But do you reckon there's a
as
serious...
as you know, I was involved in one, and we got quite a way down the track.
But is it going to happen?
Well, not anything that I'm involved with now. I'm fully committed to the Royals now, so I wouldn't know. But I mean, I would imagine there's definitely conversations going on in the background about a 14th team somewhere. And honestly, I think it's something that you should raise with the Sweet FA very soon, so that everyone knows what's on your mind, what your plans are, because especially the admin needs to be aware of what's going on, so that plans can be made for, is it 12 teams, is it 13 teams, or is it 14 teams? Because now we're in a position where it could potentially be one of all three.
It's exciting times.
You are speaking to the future Season 37 admin, so you definitely have to try and sell it to me. I'm not convinced yet, but I'd love to hear more about it.
When I talked about the expansion bid, there was not many people saying they were on board with it. It was great. In fact, that's the sort of motivation that triggers me. It's just the way it is. Fantasy football is about fantasy and creating fantasy. So that's what I'm into. And that's why now I'm looking at, okay, what's the next thing we can do? What's the next build? What's the next pull down? Whatever it is, it's got to be something, not just let's keep playing each season, same teams, same players, same banter, blah, blah, blah. The way the landscape changes is what creates the energy. So I'm just looking at options. That's all.
Slay, period.
I reckon Legs would make a great dragon.
Yeah.
And that's it. Half the side are already happy to go. So the first thing is whether the two groups like each other. Like if you said to us, we have to merge with some of the other teams, most of my side would be saying, what the fuck? Because they're nothing like us. We don't like them. So I think in the Dragons and us, we've found a synergy that works. And we've already started playing with, there's dragon snakes?
No.
Yeah,
Dragon
there's actually
lizards.
Yeah, I like the snake. I like keeping the dragon snake thing.
Is that a fact or crap?
That's a fact.
Fact. So there's actually dragon snakes and stuff. So there's already this combination out there, which again is like you go, yep, tick, I like it. We can actually change all we have to do is to get the dragon's head that they've got and stick it on the neck of our snake, and you've got a joint symbol, which is a bit of each of us, but doesn't take away from the dragons and doesn't particularly preclude what we started with either. So, yeah, I like it.
All right, Turbo. Well, mate, good luck to you. I'm very interested and very keen to see how it all unfolds. But I'm just happy I was able to bring some important information out to the Sweet FA that I feel like everyone needs to know.